Thank you for pressing play. Your presence here brings joy to my heart. It's a pleasure to have you join us as we uncover the secrets of 2013 Mudsummer Classic. The 2013 Mudsummer Classic, formerly the CarCash Mudsummer Classic, presented by CNBC, primes the profit, was a NASCAR Camping World Truck Series stock car race held on July 24, 2013, at Eldora Speedway in New Weston, Ohio. The race was the first dirt track race held by a NASCAR National Touring Series Cup Xfinity trucks since 1970. Contested over 150 laps, the race was the 10th of the 2013 NASCAR Camping World Truck Series season. Ken Schrader of self-owned Ken Schrader Racing won the pole position and became the oldest pole sitter in NASCAR history at 58 years of age. Dillon of Childress Racing won the race, while Larson and Newman finished second and third, respectively. The qualifying procedure was unique for the race. Drivers' qualifying times set the starting grids for 5 heat races to determine the feature races' starting lineup, while the top 5 of a last-chance qualifier LCQ advanced to the feature. Schrader, Jared Landers, Timothy Peters, Kenny Wallace and Jeb Burton won the heat races, while Brennan Newberry won the LCQ. The features format was also distinctive compared to other NASCAR events, as it was divided into 3 segments, lasting 60, 50 and 40 laps. In the feature, Larson took the lead from Peters on lap 39, and later battled with Dillon for the win, and Dillon claimed the victory after he retained the lead on the green-white checker finish for his 5th career Truck Series win. Let's transition to background and uncover its significance. The last race run on dirt in the NASCAR National Touring Series occurred on September 30, 1970, at the North Carolina State Fairgrounds in Raleigh in a Grand National Series race, which was won by Richard Petty. Afterwards, NASCAR sanctioned the Busch All-Star Tour, a dirt late model series, which lasted from 1985 to 2002. Eldora Speedway, which opened in 1954, is a 0.5-mile 0.8 km oval with turns at a 24-degree banking, while the straightaways are 8 degrees. The track's grandstands can fit 17,782 spectators, and the hillside seating can fit an unlimited number of fans. On October 15, 2012, track owner Tony Stewart and Dillon held a private test at the track, driving trucks. On November 28, NASCAR announced that Eldora Speedway would be on the schedule as the first of 2 Wednesday truck races, along with the UNOH 200 at Bristol Motor Speedway for 2013. Although the track does not have any SAFER barriers, Tom Gideon, NASCAR Director of Safety, stated the track meets NASCAR regulations. By January 29, 2013, the 17,782 grandstand seats had been sold out, with purchasers from 48 states and 6 countries. Various non-truck regulars entered the race for reasons such as to help a team in the Owners' Championship, with teams hiring drivers who are familiar with dirt racing to assist them in the championship. Examples include dirt track specialists Scott Bloomquist, who won the Dream and the World 100 at the track 6 times and 3 times, respectively, Tracy Hines, who had 85 career wins, including 6 at Eldora, and 52 starts in the Truck Series, Jared Landers, who won 100 features in his career, J.R. Hefner, who won the Big Block Modified Championship at Lebanon Valley Speedway twice, Jeff Babcock, who won an American Late Model Series race at the track during 2013, and Joe Cobb, a dirt modified racer and the father of Truck Series regular Jennifer Jo Cobb. Cup Series drivers Dave Blaney, Ken Schrader and Ryan Newman, along with Nationwide Series drivers Dillon, Kenny Wallace and Kyle Larson, also ran in the event. Babcock, Blaney, Bloomquist, Hines, Schrader and Wallace had all won races at Eldora in various disciplines. Jason Bowles was later announced as the driver of the No. 5 for Wouters Motorsports, while Chris Jones was originally listed as the driver of the No. 93 for RSS Racing, but eventually withdrew. In preparation for the race, tire provider Goodyear created new tires, branded Wrangler, based on a previous dirt tire that the company made. To give the trucks more grip, the tires were widened by 1 inch to 11. The bias ply tires instead of radial tires also had treads to remove dirt quicker, in a block pattern, along with being softer. The left side tires were staggered 3 inches shorter to 85.5 inches than the right tires 88.5 to assist in handling. Meanwhile, the trucks had mesh shields and had deflector screens attached to prevent debris from the dirt from entering the radiators and damaging the vehicles. The trucks also had the front spoilers and splitters removed, the grille closed, and the rear spoilers raised and enlarged by 40 square inches to generate more downforce. The truck's windshields remained, meaning the track crew had to keep the track dry to prevent mud from making them unable to be cleared. On the hoods, bug deflectors, which were 8 by 12 inches, were installed to prevent stones from hitting the windshield. Teams added under panels to the truck's chassis to prevent dirt from increasing the truck's weight. Entering the race, Matt Crafton led the points standings with 357 points, followed by Jeb Burton and James Buescher, both with 319 and 317 points, respectively. Dillon and Johnny Sottile finished the top 5 with 309 and 305 points, respectively. Ryan Blaney had 290 points, and behind him were Miguel Paludo 285, Timothy Peters 281, Brendan Gaughan 280 and Darrell Wallace Jr. 272. Get ready for a thought-provoking discussion as we delve into practice and its impact on our understanding. 2 hour practice sessions were held on July 23 from 4:30 to 6:30 afternoon EST, followed by another from 7 to 9 p.m., the latter being televised on Speed. Another practice was held the following day from 11:30 before noon to 1:30 p.m. Kyle Larson held the fastest lap time in the first practice session with the time of 19.645 seconds and speed of 91.626 miles per hour, followed by Fatherson Petave 19.856 seconds, 91.653 miles per hour, and Ryan Blaney 19.918 seconds, 90.371 miles per hour, and Brothers Austin 19.982 seconds, 90.081 miles per hour, and Ty Dillon 20.205 seconds, 89.087 miles per hour. The top 5 featured 3 Chevrolets and 2 Fords. The fastest Toyota driver was John West Townley 20.483 seconds, 87.878 miles per hour, who was 7th fastest. In the second session, the top 5 consisted of 3 Chevrolets in the top 3 positions and Toyotas in 4th and 5th. Austin 21.644 seconds, 83.164 miles per hour, and Ty Dillon 21.703 seconds, 82.938 miles per hour. Larson 21.719 seconds, 82.877 miles per hour. Ken Schrader 21.748 seconds, 82.766 miles per hour, and Tracy Hines 21.753 seconds, 82.747 miles per hour. The fastest Ford truck was Dave Blaney, with a lap time and speed of 21.872 seconds and 82.297 miles per hour, respectively. In the final practice, Toyotas dominated the top 5, with Darrell Wallace Jr. leading the session with a time of 20.04 seconds and speed of 89.82 miles per hour, followed by Hines 20.182 seconds, 89.188 miles per hour, Townley 20.303 seconds, 88.657 miles per hour, and Gaman Quiroga 20.307 seconds, 88.639 miles per hour, comprising the top 4. Chevy driver James Buescher 20.528 seconds, 87.685 miles per hour, was 5th. The time has come to unravel the secrets behind qualifying and gain a deeper understanding. The field for the main event consisted only of 30 trucks instead of the usual 36, with the top 20 trucks in the owners' points standings guaranteed a spot. To determine the field, 2-lap qualifying runs were held, which determined the starting grids for 5 heat races of 8 laps each. The top 5 fastest qualifiers started on the pole for the heats, and the highest non-locked-in truck were transferred into the main event until there were 25 trucks in the field. For drivers that did not qualify via the heats, the top 4 in a last-chance qualifier advance, with the final spot reserved for the most recent series champion, and if that spot is vacant, the 5th-place finisher in the LCQ would qualify for the main event. Qualifying was held at 5:05 afternoon. Ken Schrader won the pole with a lap time of 19.709 seconds and a speed of 91.329 miles per hour for his first Truck Series pole since 2004, and became the oldest pole sitter in NASCAR history at 58 years of age, passing Dick Trickle, who won the pole at Dover International Speedway in the Busch Series MBNA Platinum 200 in 1999. The heat races began at 7 p.m., with each heat race occurring after 15 minutes of the previous heat start. The last chance qualifier was held at 8:45 afternoon. Schrader eventually won his heat race after leading all 8 laps. In Heat 2, the first caution flag of the day was flown for Darrell Wallace Jr.'s spin with 3 laps remaining, and Jared Landers prevented a comeback by Matt Crafton to win. The next heat was dominated by Timothy Peters, who led all 8 laps. Heats 4 and 5 were won by Kenny Wallace and Jeb Burton, respectively, the 2 drivers leading every lap. In the last chance qualifier, J.R. Hefner, who started first in the race, failed to finish the race after completing 1 lap. Ultimately, Brennan Newberry led all 15 laps to win, followed by Jeff Babcock, Jason Bowles and Justin Jennings. Norm Benning clinched the 5th and final transfer spot after holding off Clay Greenfield, who nearly wrecked him 3 times. In response, Benning gave Greenfield the finger after the race concluded. Because they did not finish in the top 5, Greenfield, Jimmy Weller, Brian Silas, Joe Cobb and Heffer did not qualify for the event. When asked about the duel with Greenfield, Benning stated Tony Stewart told him that he single-handedly made the show a success. As we enter this new chapter, let's navigate the complexities of race and unravel its multifaceted nature. The race started at 9:35 afternoon EST and televised live on Speed, while being broadcast on radio by Motor Racing Network. Christopher hosted Speed's press show, while Rick Allen, Phil Parsons and Michael Waltrip called the race from the booth. The network's pit reporters for the event were Ray Dunlap, Hermie Sadler and Bob Dillner. 1.4 million people viewed the race on television, the 10th most viewed truck race in series history, and the highest watched event of the day. The race also had a Nielsen rating of 1.2. The weather for the race was mostly clear with a temperature of 68 F. The Street Henry High School band performed the national anthem, while the parade lap featured a 4-wide salute by the trucks to the fans. Due to the lack of a pit road, the race was split into 3 segments of 60, 50 and 40 laps so teams can make pit stops and adjustments between each segment, and there would be no positions gained nor lost during stops. In segment 1, Timothy Peters took the lead from pole sitter Ken Schrader on lap 15, and led for 23 laps until Kyle Larson took the lead on lap 39, who led for the remainder of the segment. In the final 5 laps of the segment, the first caution of the race flew for debris, and the beneficiary was Max Gresham, who was the first driver at least a lap down, which allowed him to regain a lap. In the second segment, Larson continued to lead for a total of 50 laps until Austin Dillon passed him on lap 89 after the former collided with Gumman Quiroga. 1 lap later, another caution was flown for debris, and Gresham was again the beneficiary. On lap 116, Jared Landers' truck became loose in turn 2, collected Ty Dillon and made contact with Johnny Sataya. Quiroga was the beneficiary on the resulting caution. Larson and Austin Dillon duelled for the remainder of the race, with Dillon allowing Larson to pass on lap 122, but Dillon managed to get past Larson on the following lap. 2 more cautions for debris, first on the front stretch, the second in turn 4 were eventually flown, and a green-white checker finish was initiated due to debris in turn 4 on lap 149. Dillon retained the lead on the GWC to win, beating Larson by 1.197 seconds. Behind Dillon and Larson, Ryan Newman finished third, followed by Joey Coulter, Brendan Gowan, Timothy Peters, Darrell Wallace Jr., Matt Crafton, Dave Blaney and Max Gresham. Soteya accident and Jeff Babcock engine failed to finish the race. The race concluded with 4 different leaders, 8 lead changes, and 6 cautions. Dillon led the most laps with 64, followed by Larson 51, Peters 23 and Schrader 15. Despite winning the race, Dillon, along with 6 other drivers, did not receive Truck Series points due to a rule that allowed drivers to compete in only one Series Drivers' Championship. The win was Dillon's first of 2013 and 5th Truck Series victory in 53 starts. It was also the 29th Truck Series win for owner Richard Childress and Richard Childress Racing's second truck win of 2013. In August, Dillon's truck, his winner's trophy and a jar of dirt he shoveled at the start-finish line were placed on display in the NASCAR Hall of Fame. If you have any suggestions for future videos, feel free to drop them in the comments section.